Hey, so after the last one, I got two nice comments, and I thought it was appropriate to make another video just about life. I look absolutely disgusting right now because I just finished a shift on OB-GYN, which just like medicine is absolutely no joke. I just wanted to talk about time and life and all that kind of stuff. So basically, yeah, it's a really long track. It's a really long track. The whole medical thing, you have to go through the 4 years of college minimum, and then the 4 years of med school minimum, and then residencies, and that all depends what you want to go into. And that sucks, and it's a really long time and what have you. I will say this though. Once you're out of med school, they finally start paying you. So it's less like you're still in school and more like you actually have a job, which was definitely something that I was missing during the last 2 years. That said, it is a job that takes up a lot of time. So, minimum, I'm there 12 hours. I have to take 2 calls during this 6-week time period, and those are overnight calls. Which, I mean, every 3 weeks is nothing compared to what residents do, Call schedules usually go, just a note on medical terminology, Q means every. So every 3 days, I have call Q3. So if you ever hear anybody talking about that, I'm on call Q4 every 4 days kind of a thing. Q3 weeks is unheard of. Which is nice, but I haven't done any overnight calls yet. They changed the system for internal medicine, but that's another point. I have so much stuff I want to talk about. It's ridiculous. It's time consuming, definitely, but and I'm tired. I don't want to sugarcoat it, but by the same token, every day as I'm on my way to the hospital, I am thinking to myself, look what I get to do today. Look what I get to do. I get to solve all kinds of really complicated problems. Well, not on my own, but eventually I will. I saw 3 babies be delivered today. Yesterday I saw a C-section. I actually helped stitch her up at the end too, which was exciting. And it's fun. It's really fun. My teams have all been great so far. I actually don't have a team for OB-GYN. Makes me sad. Because I don't know what I'm doing ever, so I kind of just hang out with whoever's doing whatever. And it's good. As far as boyfriends and relationships and what have you are concerned, my boyfriend's another medical student. He's also a 3rd year, so he's also on rotations. So this whole day while I've been on labor and delivery, he's been in cardiothoracic surgery. And it's not like that all the time. He has to go through rotations just like I do. So this last 6 weeks, he was in surgery 1 while I was in internal medicine. Before that, he was on family medicine while I was on psychiatry. And after this, he'll be on OB-GYN while I'm on pediatrics. And we're just going to... And... the amount of time I get to see him really depends on what we're doing. So this past 6 weeks, especially the last 3 weeks of it while he was on trauma surge and I was on internal medicine, I didn't see him at all. I saw him maybe 3 times because he was on call Q3 and I was there 6 days a week, call Q6. So there wasn't a lot of time to see him. It's okay though because I think the fact that he's a medical student really, really helps. There are times where you just can't do anything, it's like I would absolutely love to talk to you, let alone hang out with you right now. That is, if I had my choice, that is absolutely what I'd want to do, but I can't. And if you're dating another medical student, they understand. They're like, hey, cool, I have to go study too. I'll catch you later. Whereas I could see somebody who's not in that situation would, it wears on you at a certain point. It'd be like, okay, so you have to study. That's what you said last week. And I could definitely see that being an issue. A lot of my classmates have long-term boyfriends that they like brought with them from elsewhere, and a few of them have boyfriends that they've met that aren't in med school that they're dating now, and it seems to go okay. There are definitely more like intra med school couples than there are extra med school couples. And I think that's mostly just a function of how much time we all spend together. Long term, doctors who marry each other have higher divorce rates on average than the general population. But I mean, that also might just be a personality thing. You have to kind of have an alpha personality to go into medicine. It's, you have to be driven by something or other, and you have to be willing to sacrifice towards that end. And that's not necessarily the best recipe for a successful marriage. Not to mention, you come back from the hospital looking like this every day. Good Lord. It works though. I mean, you do what you have to, and you make time for the things that are important for you. And, just by necessity, you have to give it less time than you would like to. And that applies to anything. That applies to your relationship every bit as much as it applies to reading for fun. you just, if it's a priority, you'll hang on to it and you'll still do it. And if it's not, then it'll slip through the cracks. And so, it won't be hard. Or no, it will be hard. It will be hard, but it'll be worth it if it's really something that you want. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. The other thing is, I think rotations, generally speaking, are harder than residency in a sense. Residents spend more time there, but honestly, you hit a certain stride when you're doing something every day that you just don't have if you're rotating. So last week I was using a completely different skill set than I'm using this week. I didn't perform a single pelvic exam the entire 6 weeks on medicine, and now I do that every day. Whereas my now extensive knowledge of alcoholic cirrhosis and diabetes doesn't actually do me that much good on labor and delivery. So I think that's also a component. It's fatiguing just trying to catch up all the time, trying to figure out what's going on all the time. And I think it'll get better once I am doing the same thing every day and I can start to, hone my skills and get better at what I do. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. And you're going to have to sacrifice certain things. But, you basically have to decide how important is it to you to do this kind of work. And honestly, the best thing that you can do is to go there. It's cheesy and you're going to feel like a dork, but shadowing a doctor and just walking around and seeing what a day in the life is like might be really good for you. Is this something I can see myself doing every day? Is this worth giving up 10 years for? Or do you get bored and could you possibly be doing something else? Also, maybe it doesn't have to be med school specifically. Maybe nursing is a good idea. Or, if you're really into the idea of delivering babies, they have midwives that do all that kind of stuff, and that's all they do is deliver babies. And so, you might want to explore alternative career paths if the time itself is daunting. None of it's hard. Medicine in general isn't hard. It's all pattern recognition at a certain point, and you'll pick that up in any field. So, like I said, if the time is daunting, try it out, see how you like it, and if the full range isn't that appealing to you, specialize and take a shortcut via nursing or midwifery or whatever. So I hope that helps, and I'm going to try to do another video tomorrow or Saturday addressing medicine. Good night.